Welcome to Act Notes Tutorials. My name is Bert, and I am going to give you a quick tutorial on Other Transaction Authority. Before we describe what another transaction authority is, we must understand what another transaction is. Another transaction is a common term that refers to any kind of transaction other than a contract, grant, or cooperative agreement that is authorized by Congress. Transactions pursuant to this authority can take many forms and generally are not required to comply with federal laws and regulations. To the extent that a particular law or regulation is not tied to the type of instrument used, for example, fiscal and property laws, it would generally apply to another transaction. Other transactions are not covered by the federal acquisition regulations and are a highly flexible business tool, use of which requires the application of astute business practices. Now that we understand what another transaction is, what is another transaction authority? Another transaction authority is the term commonly used to refer to the authority granted by Congress to the Department of Defense to carry out certain prototype, research, and production projects. This authority was granted to give the DoD the flexibility necessary to adopt and incorporate better business practices that reflect commercial industry standards. So basically, another transaction authority is just the authority for the DoD to use other transactions. As of the 2016 National Defense Authorization Act Section 845, the DoD currently has permanent authority to award other transactions for research, prototyping, and production purposes. The first type is for research purpose, which allows for basic, applied, and advanced research projects. These other transactions are intended to spur dual-use research and development, taking advantage of economies of scale without burdening companies with government regulatory overhead, which would make them non-competitive in the commercial non-defense sector. Traditional defense contractors are also encouraged, if they sought to adopt commercial practices or standards, diversify into the commercial sector, or partner with non-traditional defense contractors. The second type is for prototype purposes, which allows for projects directly relevant to weapons or weapon systems proposed to be acquired or developed by the DoD. This is currently the most common type of other transaction awarded. The final type is for production purpose, which allows for a non-competitive, follow-on other transactions to a prototype other transaction agreement that was competitively awarded and successfully completed. This statute requires that advanced consideration be given and notice be made of the potential for a follow-on, other transaction. As a result, the solicitation documents will include a notice that a follow-on production, other transaction is possible. What are the other transaction authorities, or rules in general? Other transactions require a minimum of at least one non-traditional defense contractor participating, to a significant extent in the project, or a cost-sharing be arranged. In accordance with other transaction statute, this authority may be used only when one of the following is met. The awardee is a non-traditional defense contractor or a small business. Or, the awardee is a traditional defense contractor, but at least one of the following applies. At least one non-traditional contractor is participating to a significant extent. Or, the awardee provides a financial cost share, typically, a one-third cost share is required. However, the government will not generally mandate cost-sharing requirements for defense-unique items. Or, the service acquisition executive makes a written determination that exceptional circumstances justify the use of another transaction for the purpose of executing innovative business models that would not be feasible or appropriate with a FAR-based contract. Other transactions are a great tool that should be utilized to the fullest extent possible. It is best to utilize another transaction when advancing new technologies and processes, through prototyping or models, to evaluate the feasibility of a new technology satisfying a need. Promoting and utilize non-traditional vendors. You need the flexibility of tailored agreements to leverage commercial capabilities and items. You need the flexibility of funding and payment arrangements. These are the situations that can best utilize another transaction. Thank you for watching this tutorial on Other Transaction Authority. Please visit the website for more information. Congratulations for finishing this tutorial and thanks for visiting Act Notes.